Welcome, welcome, welcome to Straight Talk with Shelia. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you. Just really want to welcome you today. Thank you for those of you who are committed every Sunday to meet me here at 6 o'clock, and I'm so appreciative of that. I have with me my mentee, Tassica. We talked some time ago. I think it was back in July.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for coming back.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, I am so excited today. We're going to talk about confidence, and it's so important that for me as a life coach, it is very important for my clients to be confident in everything that they're doing. And as I was talking to Tassica, there were different things about life that she really wanted to convey to you. And I thought that, as we were talking, that this is really important. So again, what we want to talk about today is what confidence is, how do you get it, and why do we need it, and just different areas of how confidence shows up in life.
Exactly.
So tell me, in your day-to-day, what exactly can you tell our viewers? What's confidence? What is it?
Well, in my opinion, confidence is a reflection of how you feel about yourself. Mm-hmm. It's almost like this unsaid aura that is carried around you that people can notice or you can feel, things of that nature. Okay.
So when you're displaying confidence, kind of paint a picture. What does that look like? When you walk into a room, what does that say? How do you kind of show that in your attitude, in your demeanor, in your behavior? What does that look like?
So what that looks like is, someone coming into a room, they have a smile on their face, they're pretty much engaging or making eye contact with other people in the room. They're doing their best to just show their presence. The way you build that up is just believing in yourself and just trying your best to do what you may not feel you can do, although you're not sure if you can do them.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, because it's a belief thing. You got to know something. But there's some people who struggle with knowing that, and you don't struggle with that.
No.
Was that something? Tell us, how did you learn confidence, or when did you recognize that you had confidence? Was there something that happened when you were younger, or what happened?
I realized I had confidence when I would, let's say, start a new school or start a new class. It was very easy for me to kind of maneuver through that first day, that first impression. And really at a young age, I just started telling myself to just fake it until you make it, but more so say things to yourself until you believe it.
I like that.
Yeah.
Say it until you believe it.
Yeah, I like that better. Fake it until you make it is kind of like dated now.
Yeah, I really like that because it's important that we talk to ourselves.
Exactly.
Because there's always that noise in the back of our head. There's always that conversation, and we've got to talk back, especially when it's negative chatter.
Exactly.
So, I'm so glad you said that. So paint a picture for me. When you walk into an interview or relationship or life itself, how do you show up? How does confidence show up for you?
So for me, let's say, for example, in my relationship, I would just tell myself, hey, you have all these great qualities about you. You're a loving person. You're a caring person. Just make sure you display that when you're around your partner. So let's say, for example, if I don't think I'm as confident in affection, for example, just telling myself, you're a very affectionate person. So when I'm with my partner, it's like, okay, you're affectionate, so just be affectionate. And before you knew it, a person like me that wasn't that affectionate started to be so much more affectionate. So that's just one aspect. In an interview, let's say you're going for a job that you don't think you're necessarily qualified for.
Right.
Telling yourself probably like an hour before in the mirror, hey, you're so qualified for this position. You're organized, you're detail oriented, and you're a team player. So who wouldn't want to hire you? By the time you get to the interview, it's like from the time you walk through the door, everyone can feel all the self-positive talk you've been telling yourself.
Okay, so that's key. So for those of you who are watching and you know that you struggle with confidence, put me on pause. Like and share this video so others like yourself that that need this. And I'm gonna do a spin off
on what you said, talk about me a little bit, because I struggled when I was young. I was shy. I was the shy girl.
There's no way.
Listen, I was so shy you would not believe. And I remember I had thick hair in school, and the boys would pull at my hair. And, instead of saying that I like you or whatever, and I always took it was negative. I also had acne on my face. So all of that affected my confidence. And it took me a long time to really realize that my confidence is not on the outside. It's who I am on the inside. And I think it's so important for us to connect with that. And you said that earlier. You didn't have an issue with that. You kind of made peace. You knew who you were. You came into yourself and understanding of who you were. And I was a total opposite of that. It took me a little bit because I always felt like I was like the little ugly duckling.
Never.
Because I just didn't look, because I compared myself with
other people. Society standards.
Right. So it's like that affected my confidence, and faking it till I make it, that kind of stuff. I know I did a lot of that. But after a while, because you hear me talk about my grandmother a lot, and she tried to let me know my value, my worth. But when you don't get it and own it on the inside, it can bother you. And it is so important for you, my viewers, to speak to yourself. And like Tassika did, you say it until you believe it. And that's a point that I had to come to and realize that I had a lot to bring to the table. Even if I was not necessarily the Vogue magazine or the Essence magazine cover kind of look, I still had something to bring to the table. So whatever it is I had, I brought it to the table.
Yeah.
And the minute that I was able to own that, things in my life started changing. So I want you to look in the camera and speak to that young lady that is struggling, and kind of paint like your day. How do you start your day knowing that you're bringing it on? You're bringing your full self to the table, your whole self.
Well, first and foremost, I start off by just being honest with myself and being myself. There's no one else in this world that is you. There's nobody else in this world that wants to be you. Your life is unique to your journey, and you should embrace that in every which way that you can.
Yeah.
Definitely start off the day by telling yourself, hey, I'm alive and I'm well and I'm here for a reason.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do something about it.
Yeah.
Tell yourself that you're beautiful because you are. Tell
Yes.
yourself that you're
Yes.
smart
You're
because
beautiful.
you are. Tell yourself that you can
Yeah.
make a difference
Yes.
because you can. And just keep saying it until you believe it. And before you know it, you'll believe it.
That is so true, because the other phrase that I had to manifest in my life was, taking courageous steps, knowing that my confidence came by way of courage. I had to step out in there, even though I didn't really feel it yet. I was faking it.
Yeah.
But, I learned the behaviors, and once I got a hold of that, I was able to pass it on to my children, because this is something that's needed in your whole life. It's needed in your relationships. It's needed in your workplace. It's needed even if you're single and you are looking for someone. I was watching a video the other day, and the men that were saying they love a confident woman, not someone that behave like they're better than, but someone who knows their value, know their worth, know who they are. They bring it on. Not sassy and rude, but when they walk in the room, you can feel it, right?
Yeah.
And when I met you, I was like, this girl is confident. She's got it. And it's so important for us. I know some of you may be struggling. You may not be like Tassika. You may be more like where I came from and the struggles I had. But I want you to know today that you are worth so much more than you think. And that was your line last night.
Yeah.
What does that mean for us who hear you say that you're more than you think? Break that down for me.
What that means is your worth is worth more than what you may believe. So to you, you may think that you're this small piece of the world,
right?
But to someone, you might be this big world. And it's all about perspective for me.
Yes. And it's so important that we have the correct perspective. We need to have the correct perspective about ourselves.
Exactly.
And we need confidence. Even though we're struggling, we have to be confident enough to know that, you know what, even if it fails, I'm going to learn something.
Exactly.
No matter what, there's a benefit. There's something good that's going to come out of this.
And better yet, I'm giving enough.
Yes.
And as long as you're doing your best, that is enough
Yes.
for whatever situation that you're doing.
I love that. I'm so glad you brought that up, because so many people feel that they're not enough. And when you feel like you're not enough, that is definitely going to affect your confidence.
Yeah.
You've got to own what you have.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for saying that. I am your coach. I am your sister. And I see confidence down inside of you. Any parting words for those who are viewing that may still have a little bit of something that they're wanting to know about confidence? Anything more you can add to the whatever you're already at?
Yeah. So confidence isn't this big secret. Each and every one of us has it. You just have to dig real deep and try to find it and do the work, and you'll have it.
I like that. Do the work. Yes, people, you got to do the work. There's work in everything. So thank you again for joining me today and your commitment to joining me here each week. And like I say every week, I'll meet you here, same time, maybe not same place. Have a great evening, and may God bless you. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for having me.
Yes.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.